vent some, we criticize some, and also we get to laugh about them. Um, I'm not responsible for how you interpret it or how you internalize it. Same as don't be responsible for mine. And this is for entertainment purposes only. So here in Kenya is just comical, dramatic, and everything between. Well, the fuel crisis is hitting everywhere, but here it's also comical because some people or some tycoons or oil tycoons had been spotted or somehow investigated or something of the sort. But Kenyans found out that some people are hiding oil so that they can raise the prices for gasoline or for petroleum so that they can, well, gain more. Then I'm asking myself just simple things like our oil, okay, how we import oil, where does it pass? Does it pass through the Strait of Hormuz or the Suez Canal? Or, well, who knows? But even we have piping in the ocean and such things. Does it make sense? Yes or no? Then we have also interior from like Africa in general. Like we used to have oil Libya, which was Gaddafi's, and we have Nigerian oil and all that. But well, people fighting over resources is bound to happen because most of the things run through that. But today we are not talking about that anyway. Now, the funny thing of um, there was supposed to be demonstrations today in town. Okay, people had suggested to have such because of what I said earlier about hiding the petroleum so that they can heighten the price. And as I said, comical because the we say Kenya Defense Forces was fully armed with tear gas canisters and, well, I believe maybe rubber bullets, but they were armed, they barricaded places. Funny thing, and I think also Destiny says it differently. It rained heavily in the morning. So, who you'll hear the youth saying the sweetness of demonstration is consuming the tear gas. Thank you. Welcome, Derek. Hi. And since it was raining, they will not consume the tear gas because the rainwater will fade it away. So the defense force was there waiting for any fracas to happen. It was normal as they. It was not normal. It was a working day, but it looked like a weekend in town. Less traffic, both foot traffic and vehicle traffic. Except, let me say, there was a little bit scuffle that happened around archives. Um, Thank you for the likes. And told that some people are arrested. Well, now here's the funny thing. I was working where I work is next to where the parliament. It's near vicinity of the parliament area, and I was in the office normally, did my work, and I was heading to a different part of town, and I boarded boda boda. We call them boda boda motorcycle, and was ferried to my destination. I was going where we passed through is where high traffic happens. There was none. It was empty. Okay, not as much, not empty completely, but very calm. And wherever we met, the defense force, they were just chilling, having just a chill out inside their load trucks that had brought them to town. So it was just like, okay, you were waiting for the fracas, and the people decided it was too cold for the fracas. And the weather decided not today. Uh, so it was a sight to see. It was really interesting. Other than that, all is well, but not well for other countries. I know. Uh, Still the the war that's happening, and people are forgetting the loss of lives, the loss of sanity in an area that is being anytime you just feel like ducking because of missiles flying over. We have mind you, those countries, major towns or even interior, you'll find people have traveled to work there. So they come from all walks of life, from different parts of the country, or even different parts of other countries. And you you think some topics, hmm, I think they should start from home ground. Like personally, at home, we say charity begins at home. um there are things that happen during children's growth, and how they're mended, or how they're molded into society. The influences are there, be it the family life, be it the social life. And some topics like I might say how to self-esteem is something that I see needs to be talked about a lot. How to embrace yourself, love yourself, and not wait for any other persons to boost, or let's say uplift you. You start uplifting yourself before uh, waiting for others to uplift you. Because if you wait for on others, they might disappoint you. High chances they will disappoint you. And how do you react after that, or what do you do after that? We say I'm only responsible for my reaction to the action towards me. I am only responsible for my reaction to the actions put on me. Like I might say, like, give an example. The first time I started talking, having lives on YouTube, people who are keyboard confident and decided just because they're hiding behind the keyboard, or maybe they're not even close to me or in a different country, they can choose to be the first videos I remember, some of them insults, others were just racist remarks, and I was like, I can only react, uh even if it is physical or verbally. I can either choose to react, or even quiet. Being quiet is a reaction. Ignoring a person is a reaction, and also try to educate them a little bit is also a reaction. We he, I didn't choose where I was born. I found myself here, and I'm happy that I came where I am. In case if I'm reincarnated and I find myself somewhere else, I appreciate that life and live it to the best of my ability, like I am doing right now. Hi and welcome, Pujabanka. Welcome. So I remember I did react when the racist remarks were said. Um, Hi, I said hi to Dick Van. So sometimes I find the topic racism or is so out of pocket because uh children are not haters. Thank you from Netherlands. Um, Hate is taught because tell me why a kid, if you take a child to a playground, they'll play with the child's, maybe they will be drawn to somebody, a child that they want to play the same game with. And even even if later on you pick them up and you ask them who's your friend, they don't even know the friend's name. Same as adult life. Sometimes you find like football fanatics or people who are passionate about a sport. Sometimes they don't even know each other because they're fans and they support the team they are supporting. I think that's how sometimes we act like children during sports events and also being fans. Uh, so children don't know, like, oh yeah, that's a dark child, or she's different, or hmm, what kind of family does she come or he come from? So yeah, not unless now you as an the adult who's supposed to mold this child, you start telling them, um, don't go close to that person or don't go close to that child. You'll hear many times, even on buses or public places, you'll hear children being told by the adults looking after them, if it's the parent or the nanny or whoever is with them, they'll tell them, don't go close to that child, she stinks, or no, don't disturb them. You stop somebody, maybe they just saw somebody that they can vibe with, and yeah, so yeah, hate is taught. It's not from us. Thank you for the compliment, Dick Van. Ooh, that name, Dick Van from Netherlands. So hate like that. Okay, then we come back to the racists or try, like here. Okay, let me say what we experienced, like here in Kenya. We had tribal issues. We have been having time and time again about tribal clashes because of different tribes. We are a country blessed with more than 55 tribes, and for most parts we live harmoniously until it's election year. That's when you know who's your neighbor. But other than that, during normal time, you'll find normalcy. You'll talk with your neighbors, you'll have a laugh with your neighbors, you'll even interact with them. So when it comes to elections, it used to. Nowadays, it's not as extreme as it used to be because, thank God, most of the people are intermarried, so from different tribes, and interaction has happened. And also, I think also the way of life that you can move from one place or different parts of the country and work, because sometimes companies open different branches from different places, and also schooling, which has helped, even though sometimes our education, I question the education system. um the schooling, we used to, when you finish primary school to go to secondary school, you apply the schools that you think you want, but then again you find yourself, the government has said they'll choose the school you're supposed to go to according to your performance, and you'll find yourself not in the vicinity that you are comfortable with. You'll find yourself in a different place, and it became difficult to transfer students, not unless you're going to a private school. but publicly you'll have to go. Until now, maybe you get the merit to, or there's a long process of having the letter from a different chief to the schooling board and to accept you to transfer. So because it's a lot of hassle, people prefer to remain in the school that the government chose for you. So after that, also in colleges and universities has started to have the same uh, system. But during my time, what made it different was, okay, yes, you can choose. You are We have a calling letter after you've how you performed. According to your performance, you'll be called to a certain university and study a certain course according to your performance. But other than that, there was also the chance of maybe you want a certain course to the career that you want, career path you didn't want the government to choose for you, or the examination board, and you take yourself and apply for that particular college or university, and you're accepted. And the good thing about our universities and colleges, they have all the tribes I'm talking about. So you interact with everyone from different parts of Kenya. And sometimes, if you're people who, like, for me, I'm born and raised close to Nairobi. So boarding buses and interacting in the Nairobi town was somehow my norm. But there were others who had never been, ever in their life, been in Nairobi, and that was the first time they came to, and that's how they got to know the city life. Sometimes it can sway you the wrong way, and sometimes it can depend on now your self-esteem and self-preservation. We say peer pressure also is a topic that really needs to be talked about, because other than physically having friends who sway you to do such and such and such, um, we also have the online. I hear there are different names. We have the orbits, people who just follow you, uh, admire you from afar, but also comment on your life and all that. And also, we have the ones who are creepers, and they bully you to an extent. We have had cases of young life being taken over because of the bullying they have faced online, until they can't handle it or no more. Or sometimes they get help before it gets worse. That is if they seek help. And it's not, teenage life. We think sometimes we know when we are teenagers who will have told us anything and will hear about anything, advice. No one will say or hear any advice they were given. Hi, Ali, welcome. Patil, why are you afraid? Thank you for the subscription from Pakistan. Oh, Vans. Okay, now I got it. So we've heard of that issue. And then now, sometimes we forget ourselves. Sometimes we forget ourselves. We are so endorsed and into the online right now. Now even we are having the difference of AI. You don't even know if it's real or faked, or even some people have become so dependent on gadgets. Hmm. I might say there's somebody we were just talking about. What the teenagers, if the most punishment you can do to them is give ground them by taking all the gadgets or shutting down internet in the house. they look like somebody who's recovering from hard drugs. I'm just saying. So if you're dependent like that and you're living your life online, sometimes reality is hard to handle. And when it reaches to that, I don't know how that will be helped, because um, yes, as I said, you cannot advise some people. Some teenagers, they will not listen at all. And having somebody to interact, or even give them the way forward to be principled and stand on their principles, and don't let other people who are online, sometimes even adults who are just creepers, influence them to do things they might even regret later, or even at that time make them uncomfortable. It's something that I'll love. Even if you handled any teenage person in your life with such issues, and if so, comment below. So yeah, it's a lot of topics we have talked. Then we also have the sex talk, the fetishes that are out here. Woo, Lord. Uh, yeah, but now it's like transactional. Um, Here in Kenya, we have had a problem of young ladies meeting, um, let's say, for them, they say it's a date. For first time meeting somebody, and you really don't know these people. Actually, I only know myself. Let me say that. Start there. Uh, when you meet, there's okay. Let me give an example. There was a lady who lost her life sadly. She was talking to somebody online in Instagram. They exchanged contacts at the same time. They're still chatting, and in the process of chatting, I don't know how it ended up. Like the guy was gifting her, sending her gifts. They have not never met. I'm not saying like everyone is evil as that, but well, this is the story. So after the gift exchange and whatever, they decided to meet up at one of the B&Bs. And I was like, for your first meet up with somebody that you really don't know, because, okay, maybe because, let's say the thought process was, oh, yeah, he has already gifted me some gifts. I'll trust him that much. I'll be very skeptical for me personally. So they met up, and she lied to her family members where she was going. She didn't say like, I'm going to meet so and so, or I'm having a date with somebody. She just said, I'm going to do some shopping, and that's how she went. So the family knew she's going to come in the evening, and life moves on. Little did they know that was the last time they saw of her, and the next time they saw of her was she was dismembered. Now, I don't know if it's the young generation, or they're too trusting, because maybe you've talked a lot with somebody online. You might think you know the person, but you don't. Uh, where is the sense of security? Even if you're going to meet up for a night stand, I know sometimes it's risky. It's very risky. Any time for night stands, like, let me not lie. That's a risk, because you really don't know that person. Not unless it's somebody you've known for some time, but do you really know everyone? Or do you really know another person? Even if it's your family members, we say even family members do the worst things. Anyway, a sense of also security of When did we stop having public dates? Yeah, that's all. I'm just going to leave it at that. Um, Sometimes even I say, "Ooh, bring back arranged marriages," but also, do you really know that person also, or do you know their family really? It's tricky. You just survive by grace. I think that's where I'm going to end. It's getting trickier and trickier. Maybe we'll expand on the topics next week. Today, at least, I've talked a lot. Thank you for all those who joined, subscribed, commented, said hi, liked, viewed, and also being here and exchanging ideas for those who have. And until next time, comment, like, subscribe, have a listen. And yeah, more to come. I'll just leave it at that. More to come. Until next time. Bye.